Hi, I'm Olivier.
And I'm Rose.
And you're listening to
Olivier and Rose, the podcast where two girls get drunk and watch movies that Katie
That's me.
has never seen. Katie, what movie did we watch today?
Super Troopers. I almost forgot that I have to keep talking.
So, before we get started, I have a few corrections from last week.
Whoopsies.
I'm sure that there's more corrections from past episodes, but we're just going to start with this week.
Yeah, let's start fresh. Pretend like we don't make any mistakes until now.
The first is that Mark Wahlberg didn't kill a guy.
Thank God.
He did beat him until he went blind in one eye, but, he's not dead.
It happens.
So, Mark Wahlberg didn't kill a guy. Keep that good name out there.
Yep.
Thought about it when I was eating at Wahlburgers the other day. And the second thing is not really a correction, but just an add-on, because in the Boondock Saints episode, we were talking about how the vents in the hotel are huge and, big enough for people to move around in. And I said that, my dad does HVAC, we can ask him.
Yep.
So I asked him, and I was like, yo, Popsicle, what is the deal with HVAC vents in big hotels? And he told me, in casinos, they're gonna be, huge in the casinos and in the lobby. So, yes, those big vents, but as soon as they get over the rooms, they get smaller because they don't need that much air.
Interesting.
So they would have enough room until they got over the room, so basically it's bullshit.
Yep, fact-checking that shit.
Yeah.
Lies!
Lies! Alright. I think that's all the corrections I had.
Okay.
Super Troopers, released in 2001.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
What was I doing in 2001?
right after the new millennium.
Oh yeah, we thought Y2K was gonna happen. That's funny.
It was written, you saw it at the end credits, by Broken Lizard.
Mm-hmm.
That's, the group of the guys. So the main cast is Eric Stolansky, who plays Rabbit, Jay Chandreskar.
Sure.
He has a very Indian last name, and I don't know how to say it.
What is it?
Chandrasekhar.
Chandrasekhar?
I'm gonna go with that.
That's probably not right. Chandrasekhar.
And
Chandrasekhar. I feel
he
like I've
plays
heard that before.
Thorny.
Mm-hmm.
Steve LeMay, or Lemmy, plays Mac. Kevin Heffernan plays Farva, and Paul Sauter plays Foster. They're the Broken Lizard guys. That's their
all of
group.
them.
All of them.
Okay.
So they all wrote it together, and then it was directed by Jay whatever.
Yep. Jay.
Jay.
Hey, Jay. What do, boo?
I feel like you wouldn't have seen him in anything except for that he was on an episode of Nailed It.
Was he?
Yeah, he was one of the guest judges where he left and he was like, "Oh, I have to go pick up my daughter."
Oh yeah.
And then he came back with Starbucks.
Yes, I did see that one.
Well,
he's in White Castle or something, right?
No, that's another Indian
guy. Oh. Oops. Wait, what is he also in?
He's in. So Broken Lizard does a lot of movies. They did this, which is their most famous. They did Beer Fest, which is.
Oh, okay.
I like that one better. They did a couple other ones, but he mainly just does, I believe, Broken Lizard stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, that is the main cast. They're a Broken Lizard. They wrote it all together. So getting right into the plot summary, the movie starts out with 3 teenagers essentially driving down the highway, and they're all smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And Rabbit and
Reefer.
and Rabbit and Thorny roll up next to them.
Mm-hmm.
And when they see the cops, they freak out, and one of the kids starts eating all the drugs. He eats all their weed, all their shrooms, and then there's some other, I think it's just another bag of weed that they throw out the window.
That was disgusting. Him eating that shit, I was like, I would have thrown it all out the window. Why? Even if you like weed, why would you ever eat it like that?
I don't know.
It's gross. And also, mushrooms are actual mushrooms, so, eating it by itself, I feel is super disgusting.
I'm not a huge fan of mushrooms anyways, so...
I like mushrooms, but I feel like I've only seen people do shrooms one time, and they literally had to, put peanut butter on it to, get it down.
Even get it down, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm assuming they're a little different than portobello.
A little different than some stuffed mushrooms.
Yeah.
But they start like that, and they're eating all the drugs, and the cops end up they're fucking with them, and then they end up arresting them. And then someone comes by in a convertible and basically races them, and the cops have to chase in a Miata.
Mm-hmm.
Mazda Miata.
Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And so they chase down this Miata, and he runs into this bar, and it turns out that it's actually just Mac, who is another one of the officers. And then they decide to fuck with the kids even further, so it cuts back outside. And the one kid who eats all the shrooms is licking the divider, and he's like, the snozzberries taste like snozzberries.
I've heard that saying so many fucking times, and I've always been like, what the fuck are you saying? And people are like, it's from Super Troopers. And now that I've seen it, I'm like, it's not even funny. So stop saying it in real life.
Fine. So that kind of sets the tone. I feel like I say that a lot. Sets the tone for the movie.
Yeah, the mood is set. Oh.
It sets up how the movie's gonna be. Like, they're cops, they're highway patrolmen. And they kind of just fuck around a lot.
Yeah.
So it goes through, you see them at a restaurant, they're chugging syrup.
Ugh.
As one thing that they're trying to make the rookie do, and that is the first time we see them interact with, like, the local police, and we get in a fight with them. And their captain comes in and kind of breaks it up, and so you see that they have, like, a turf war. That's what I was looking for. A turf war with the local police. And it keeps going on, and you find out that their precinct, the Super Troopers precinct, is probably going to close. And so that's why they're fighting with the local police so much. And then you see them go to a Winnebago, and the local cops are already there, but the Super Troopers think it's their jurisdiction. Turns out there's a dead body. There's a pig in there.
Yeah, that never really, like...
They don't explain that.
No,
there's just a pig in
there's
a
just a
Winnebago.
pig.
And then Mac thinks he can fight it, so he goes in there. And it turns out that the highway patrolman, Thorny, actually gets kind of mad. And it's just like, whatever, it's your fine, you fucking take it. Like, you deal with the pig.
Yeah.
And they lose their jurisdiction on that, and their captain's really pissed because that could have been a big bust for them. Then it turns out that they pull over a semi because he missed a way station, and he's actually hauling a bunch of weed.
Mad weed, yo.
Mad weed, yo, with this little logo on it named Johnny Chimpo.
Yep.
Which has kind of become, I think it's become kind of the symbol for Broken Lizard, but I just think that because of Super Troopers.
There's a penis coming out of a banana peel.
Yep. So they find all this weed in the semi, and they take it back, and they get their kind of big bust, but the mayor still thinks that they will probably get shut down because they just don't have the funds. The whole movie fosters trying to get the woman who works with the local police, Ursula, to fall in love with him. And it works by flashing her.
Yeah.
Patriarchy! Let me just show this woman my naked body, and then she'll want to fuck me, right?
Totes. That's not how it works.
We don't want to see that.
No. We did see it later in the movie, and we wish we hadn't.
Oh, yeah, when we saw Farva.
Bro. I've never seen a dick like that before. Just like a little, like, hen poking its face out of a bush. Like, the tip's straight on to eye contact. Nothing's hanging because it's so little bitty. Actually, no, I have seen it before when I looked up a picture of a micro penis. And then I sent it to all my friends. In a group chat.
Interesting fact.
Yeah. They weren't really happy when they opened up that text from me. They're like, Chloe was like, I'm at a dinner with my family, so thanks for that.
So he wins over Ursula, and when they hook up for the first time is when we discover that the Winnebago that the local police seized has a bunch more of the, like, I don't want bricks, I guess, of weed.
Sure.
Under a bed. And so that is what the Super Troopers are going to use to kind of impress the governor when she comes. That becomes a plot later on in the movie, but in between there's just a bunch of shenanigans, which, honestly, one of my favorite parts of the movie is when they all get high with the like, German guy they arrested, and they're like, the captain comes in and makes them leave, and then they're like, you can't link our shenanigans with Farva, like, his are horrible things, like, ours are fun shenanigans. And they're like, yeah, his are bad, which makes them really even not shenanigans. And then Mac's like, evil shenanigans. And the captain goes, anyone who says shenanigans is gonna get pistol whipped. Hey, Farva, what's that restaurant you love with all the pins and shit? Oh, you mean shenanigans? Oh. They, like, hold out their guns.
I like that everyone shits on Farva because I fucking hate him. He's so annoying.
In the beginning, when he, like, comes in and he's like, hey, I missed the song, and he's like, Farva, coffee. Okay. Anyone want cream? No? Okay, no cream.
He's so annoying. He's like that guy that, like, really wants to be a part of everything, but, like, he's way too annoying and you don't want him to be a part of anything. That's kind of bullying, but, you know, sometimes you need it. I don't know. I'm in love with this hot water bottle, and you'll never get it back. I'm literally holding it like it's my baby.
Anyone at work who pulled Katie for a Secret Santa, sorry, Secret Snowman, politically correct, get her a hot water bottle.
Yes, with like a cute little socky thing to
I'm
put
sure
on
they
it.
make an alpaca one.
Wait, the microphone just went red because of my voice. The little light went red. I was probably like, does not compute, bebop. Fucking shut up. I was like, nah, bitch, I ain't gonna shut up. People who have me for Secret Snowman. I just want to say Snowman. I don't know why. Probably doesn't listen to this podcast.
I don't know, maybe Sanjay got it.
No. Oh my god, that would be the best.
I can't remember what I was talking about. I know that I said bricks, and then we started talking about Farva.
Mm-hmm. No, we hate him. And then, well, how their plan was to, like, get the Winnebago when the governor.
When the governor comes, they're gonna use all the, like, bricks of weed that Foster and Ursula found in the Winnebago to basically be like, hey, look how great we are. We're gonna do this, blah, 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 blah. Like, keep our precinct.
Mm-hmm.
And there's kind of a time crunch, and when they get there, Thorny and...
Just ignore it.
Thorny and, can't remember who else is in the car with him. I think Foster. Thorny and Foster are the ones that are driving the Winnebago to, like, this event where the governor is.
Oh, yeah.
And they get there, and the captain for the local police is already up there with all the weed. And when they open the bags, it says, like, enjoy your new job. So they already got all the weed from the Winnebago.
Yep.
So that's, like, their last chance to save the precinct, and they lose it. And Foster blames Ursula. Because he's like, you know, you're a local cop. Like, you told them, blah, blah, blah.
And she's a woman, so it's probably her fault anyways.
It is her fault. Just kidding. It's not. It turns out to be Farva because he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, we already hated you, Farva.
We already didn't like him, and then it turns out that he was the one who told the local police, and then he got a job at the local police.
Fucking hate Farva.
So, in true, you know, right to my heart kind of fashion, they find out they lose something, and everyone on the Super Troopers crew gets wasted. Including their captain. He comes out and he's like, alright, who wants shots? And then they decide that they're going to steal a cop car, the one that Farva has got.
Yep.
And they're just going to go drive around.
Yes.
He's like, come on, like, let's arrest someone. So the captain, like, or let's pull someone over. So the captain pulls someone over and he's just peeing on his car. They get real drunk, like I said, and they end up, like, calling Ursula on the
walkie-talkie.
The thing that...
Radio.
Yeah, the radio in the car.
Breaker 19!
Because they've stolen Farva's cop car.
Yes.
And they get a hold of Ursula, and she's like, hey, you really want to bring these guys down? Like, meet me here. Mm-hmm. And they go there, and that's where they find out that the town cops, or the local cops, are actually smuggling weed in from Canada.
Fucking corruption everywhere.
And they're dirty. Dirty cops.
Dirty cops.
So dirty. So...
I also think that it's funny how Ursula is, like, the only chick, and she's basically the one who's, like, plotting this entire
Yeah, she's,
thing.
Like, the hero of the movie.
Yes, she's, like, making sure that, or, like, trying to get them to do things, but, you know, not actually telling them to do things, because if a woman told them to do things, they wouldn't actually do it, so she's just...
She also says, like, at the end... I feel like she said it kind of quietly, where she's like, the less you guys knew, the less you could fuck it up.
Exactly.
Like, wow, story of my life.
Yeah, so you just kind of, like, if you make it seem like it's their idea, then they'll, like, go with it. Literally.
Literally how I live my life.
Yeah, how you have to.
So what they do is they send a letter to the mayor, and they're like, hey, we're great. See what we did? Like, keep us around.
Yeah.
And it shows... Thorny and the captain and, like, all of them sitting, I assume, on the captain's porch reading a letter from the mayor, and she's like, thanks so much for your hard work, but still fuck off, we're closing your precinct, we don't have the funding. And then it kind of flash forwards, and Thorny and Rabbit are delivery guys for a keg company, and they're having a real hard time like carrying the keg to this house, and they get up there and the door opens, and it's the kids who they arrested in the beginning, and they all freak out, and they're like, oh no, the cops, and they're like, it's okay, like, and the kids like fuck with them and make them move the keg around a couple times, right? And then Thorny's like, you ready for the fun part, because this is the fun part, and they rip off their like jumpsuits, and it turns out they are local cops, and they are there to bust the kids. But it ends up with them just partying with the kids. Yes. And it's hilarious. And that's how the movie ends.
It is funny. I like that a lot, actually. The ending part was probably the best part. Like, for having them party with the cops makes me laugh a lot.
And Ursula's like, oh, is this all for just a noise complaint? And they're like, you don't get it. This is how we roll. Yeah. We're fun. Welcome to the fun crew.
Exactly.
So, that being said, we can do your rating.
Okay.
I think that your rating's going to be somewhere in between an it's alright and a hell yeah.
I would say it's an
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No hell yeah.
I'm gonna find one.
I know.
I think you gave it to Shaun of the Dead.
I did give a hell yeah to Shaun of the Dead, yes. There's gonna be one that I'm like gonna be obsessed with and gonna like nerd all over that bitch. But until that time it was an it's alright. It was like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't even know how to describe it. They just, like, annoyed me the whole time.
Well, Farva annoyed you the most, for sure.
Oh, well, that's already... that's already been established, but, yeah. I don't like any of them. They're really annoying.
Yeah. But I love... Just basically, there's a lot of one-liners in this movie that I think are done really well.
Yeah.
And, like, the part where Mac is in, like, the bulletproof little thing.
Yeah.
And they're shooting him a couple times, and then he makes Rabbit do it, because Rabbit's the rookie, and the captain comes up, and he's like, oh, you know, we used to do this back in my day, except back in my day, the rookie used to get naked, and Mac is just standing there, because he took the cup off to give to Rabbit, and he's just naked.
Yeah.
And then he shoot, like, the captain's like, oh, yeah, and we did this, and then he shoots, and he's like, also, we used blanks. You're a sick fuck, Mac. And Mac's like, thanks, Captain. Like, everything... I thought about it while I was watching this, that Mac is probably my favorite.
Yeah. I do too. Yes. Yeah, he's definitely my favorite out of all of them. Because I feel like he's just, like, super dumb. But, like, in a funny way, not in a way that makes me want to strangle him.
I love in the very, very beginning when he's the one who was driving the Miata. He gets back in the cop car and he's like, you boys like Mexico?
Yes.
It's just like so ridiculous. And as much as we were saying that we hate Farva, I love that even Rabbit, who's the rookie, is just like, fuck off, Farva.
Yeah.
Like when he's cleaning the car and Farva's like trying to give him shit, and he's just like, oh yeah, that's funny. Haha.
It's just like, so go back to that personality that I was talking about, where it's like, dude, just shut up.
Dude, no one cares.
Yes. You're making like a bigger thing out of the rookie thing than it needs to be, kind of.
And I love that they talk about how Farva got suspended basically the whole movie, and they're like, oh yeah, I heard about that school bus with kids. Yeah. But you don't know it until you watch the end credits.
Yes. I know, I was thinking about that too, actually, because he has a bit of an anger problem.
Weird. Can't relate.
I'm a docile little lamb.
Just kidding, I can totally relate.
Hi, I'm Rose. I'm angry.
I'm small and angry. Oh, man. Way to lead into my fun facts is through Farva. So, in the scene where he brings in coffee, he's like, oh, no, like, that one's for the rookie, no.
Yeah.
And he has a bar of soap. And eventually the captain gets so pissed that he bites the bar of soap. The bar of soap is made of, like, white fudge or something.
Oh.
But the guy who plays the captain needs, like, I can't remember if he's diabetic or if he just doesn't like sugar. And he bit into it and it had sugar in it and he was so pissed. So they had to redo the scene, so it's like sugar-free white fudge.
That's so funny. Also, like, how do you detect if something has sugar? I guess you could detect it because it's like anything that's sugar-free tastes like shit.
Yeah.
So like, oh, this doesn't taste like shit.
This actually tastes good.
Yeah, it must have sugar in it.
The part where they're all chugging syrup, which is where we first meet Ursula, by the way, because she's like, oh,
yeah.
Do you have any more syrup? And she's like, oh no. The waitress, who we don't see, is like, oh no, sorry, Urs. And she turns around, there's like 4 bottles on their table.
That are empty because they kept chugging in because they're stupid as fuck.
Yep, so they're chugging syrup. The first few takes were all done with iced tea, and it didn't really look realistic.
Yeah.
So they made them all chug syrup.
Yeah.
So all the, like, close-ups of them, you can see it, like, the liquid's going really slow. It's because they're all chugging syrup, but the ones where it's far away, you can see how much faster it's moving. It's because they use the iced tea for those shots.
Honestly, I feel like I could chug syrup. Should we try it? I feel like... I haven't had...
How many Weight Watchers points is the entire bottle of syrup?
Oh my god. Probably my whole day's worth. Also, fake syrup or real syrup?
I really like maple syrup.
Like
AKA real syrup.
Interesting.
Mainly because I feel like my mom kind of beat it into me. What up, Mom?
No, I'm a strict Aunt Jemima kind of gal.
You know which one was my favorite growing up?
Which one?
The one that you could microwave, and it had a little microwave on the front. It was like a container, and it had a little picture of a microwave, and when you put it in the microwave, the picture of the microwave on the container would, like, heat up, and when that was done, it meant your syrup was warm.
Wait, I did not know that was a thing.
No. I don't think it's Aunt Jemima, but I also, the reason I'm not allowed to have Aunt Jemima is because I think when I was, like, I want to say, like, 8, at this guy John's house, and I'm obviously small, so I climb on counters, and I fucking shattered a bottle of Aunt Jemima. Because back when they also used to be all glass, I just dropped it, and it was like...
Oh, no. My mom used to talk to Aunt Jemima when she put it back into the cabinet.
Until next time.
It was so funny. She was like, no, I don't want to go in there. She was like, get it back into there. No, I don't want to go in the cabinet.
Sorry, Aunt Jemima, you have to go back there.
I don't remember what she would say, but it was so funny for me as a child. And now, if that happened again. I don't eat syrup anymore. I used to have pancakes literally every day for breakfast when I was younger, but yes. What was I going to say? I like fake maple syrup. I like just basically syrup.
Just sugar.
I mean, yeah.
Do you like sugar? Is there sugar in syrup? Yes. Then yes.
Yes, I like just the sugar. I don't like any tree bark. None for me, please.
So yeah, they were actually chugging syrup.
Yeah, I could do it. We should probably do it as a challenge.
We'll put it on Instagram.
Oh my god, what if we, like, went live on Instagram on the podcast app? And we were just like, okay, let's do it. I mean, we don't have to do the whole, like, a whole big one, just like,
no, do they sell mini ones?
I'm sure they
do. Do they sell, like, nips of syrup? Can I get that?
I'm gonna get wasted off a nip of syrup! They probably do. Or just, like, a schmedium.
So yeah, they actually are drinking maple syrup. Or not maple. They're just drinking syrup in that scene.
Yes.
In the cat game, where they see how many times they can say meow.
Yeah.
And Mac bets Foster he can say it 10 times. And then he's like, oh, you only got 9. So he goes back and goes, meow. It's actually said 11 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
He beat him. Beat him fair and square. I almost said square and fair.
But the reason that I think the cat scene, like the cat game scene, is so funny is because Mac is sitting on top of the car, but you only get like the scene of his stomach, and he's just laughing the entire time.
Yeah. Should we get into your fun facts?
We're already in them.
Oh.
The first was the syrup chugging.
Oh,
chugging.
Yeah.
The second was
And
the cat game.
Meow.
Meow. Where's Rita?
Rita.
The opening scene, I actually probably should have started with this. The opening scene where the kids eat all the drugs.
Yep.
Based in truth.
Really?
Yeah. The fact that I found was that, I don't know if it was someone in Broken Lizard or one of their friends. Basically, they got pulled over and the cops found like a joint in their Winnebago. And so they had one of their friends eat all these shrooms and he was high for like 2 days.
Yeah.
He was just tripping for 2 days.
That honestly sounds like my nightmare.
And then the scene where, like, Farva, when, like, Rabbit fucks up and Farva gets to be on the road again, and he's with Thorny, and he's like, call it car Ramrod. Ramrod. Call the car Ramrod. He's like, I wrote it on the paper. And they pull over that couple. Yeah. He's like, whatever, like, for $10 I'll call him chicken fucker. Those are his parents.
In real life? Yeah. That's so fucking funny.
So, apparently, his parents wanted to be in his movie, and they knew he was going to say something vulgar, but he didn't tell them what he was going to say.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, do this, chicken fucker. And they were like, oh.
That's funny. Good actors, those parents.
At the baseball game where you first find out that, like, Thorny has a kid, and it's like, I don't really understand that scene, because I don't know why, like, all the local cops are on one side and all the, like, highway patrol are on the other.
It's like the kids are also on separate teams,
exactly.
too.
Other than the fact that, like, yes, Thorny is the coach of the other team, but, like, I don't know.
Maybe that's why, yeah.
When Foster and Ursula are talking, and she's like, you can hit me back after they get into a huge fight, the Winnebago, and the ball hits her in the face, and she's like, I can't believe you hit me, and she slams him on the head with the snow cone.
Yeah.
You can see it in the beginning of the scene. He tries to eat the snow cone, it's, like, super hard, but then when she slams it on his head, it's all soft.
Yeah.
So the snow cone was really hard, and then, like, mid-scene, it was supposed to be switched, like, the prop department would come in and switch it, but a couple times that didn't happen, so for, like, I think it said, like, 3 or 4 scenes, he got slammed on the head with just, like, a block of ice. The last, like, main fun fact I have, because it said in the credits, and I'm sure I was guessing that you didn't know who she is, it was, like, special guests, or, like, special appearances.
Yeah. I have no idea who the fuck that is.
Linda Carter. She's Wonder Woman.
Oh.
She's very, like, the reason she's famous is because she originally played Wonder Woman.
Interesting. Yep, had no fucking idea who she was.
And then, so that was my last, like, fun fact, but I just really want to mention the other Broken Lizard movies.
Yeah.
I already mentioned Beer Fest and Super Troopers 2, obviously. They have 2 more that are, like, relatively, I don't want to say famous, but bigger.
Yeah.
And one is The Slam and Salmon. Did you ever see Waiting?
Yes.
Slam and Salmon is, like, Broken Lizard's version of Waiting.
Okay.
So they're all working at the restaurant, like, it's just kind of that.
Yeah.
But the restaurant is called Slam and Salmon.
Okay.
And then the other one that honestly might be one of my favorite Broken Lizard movies is Club Dread. Might be because I love murder and, like, crime, or as Connor calls it, murder porn. Because it's basically they're all on an island and people start dying and they need to figure it out. But in all of these movies, it has the same 5 people playing different characters.
So weird. I feel like Hollywood is so weird. I'm getting real deep thought into it because I've seen Beer Fest, and I also think it's like, I don't know, I feel like it just, the only reason that you're gonna do good is if you really like that sense of humor, and I feel like Beer Fest was also a waste of my time.
I love Beer Fest.
I didn't think it was that funny.
So yeah, when they think Thorny's Mexican and, like, the local cops are like, oh yeah, tacos.
Yeah.
And Rabbit's like, I don't get it. He goes, oh, they think I'm Mexican. And Rabbit's like, wait, you're not? And then when they're talking about the monkey, whose name I can't remember, Johnny Chimpo. And the captain's like, I don't know, like, what do they do in that Arab country, Thorny? And Thorny's like, how the fuck would I know? It's just like, or, oh my god, I love all the jokes that they make about Thorny, because even in the very, very beginning, when he's like, I don't got that black magic, Thorny, he's like, hey, brown magic.
Yeah. I also just feel like that's, like, I don't know, it's super obvious that that's not real. Like, he clearly does not look Mexican.
That's really all I had, but
I know.
Overall, what did you think? Who did you relate to the most? We already talked about how Mac was our favorite.
Yeah.
So I guess, who do you relate to the most?
I have no idea. Probably honestly Ursula, because she's blonde and a woman and she's smarter than everyone else. And that's me in a nutshell. No, I didn't really like anybody in the movie because they're all men and they're kind of stupid and annoying and weird and have weird tiny bush dicks.
That's just Farva. We haven't seen any of their other dicks.
I'm sure they're similar if they're all friends.
Also, I'm really curious if that's Kevin Heffernan's real penis.
I'm sure it is. If it's any bigger than that, it's not like you can cut it. You know what I mean?
I know, there's a lot of movie magic.
When he tucked it in?
I know.
Oh.
No, I mean, like, with post-production and, like,
like
computers and
editing
shit.
it?
Yeah.
Doubtful. Because, like, no. It's 2001.
That's real late.
Did you see those snell phones?
Those cell phones. Let me answer on my shell phone.
Did you see those cell phones with the fucking leather
Oh, yeah, they had
case?
their little
It was
flip.
like a flip. It's like, okay, antenna down. All right, put it back in my pocket.
So, Ursula, you relate to the most.
Yeah.
Overall, I know you said it was it's aight. But overall, like, what were your...
I wouldn't watch it again, that's for sure.
Didn't think so. I feel like a lot of the movies that we've watched so far, all of the movies we've watched so far, you wouldn't watch again.
No. Because there's a reason why I haven't watched them in the first place. Like, I'm over it. I don't need to.
My goal is just to get you to watch a movie. Next week, we're gonna watch a movie. You're gonna see me cry. Not that you haven't seen that already, but I cry every fucking time I watch the movie. I'll sing every song. I really held myself in during Rocky Horror, but I will not hold myself in during this next one.
Does that mean it's a musical?
Yes.
I feel like I think I like musicals, and then I realize I fucking don't. Everybody's singing. All the time.
Well, it's
And
not like...
I think it's like, I don't like it when they sing important facts of the movie, because then I stop listening, and I don't get
this
it.
movie,
Mhm.
they are not going to sing important facts.
Okay.
The songs, like, kind of embellish the storyline. They don't have to move them along. Like, Rocky Horror, the songs move along the storyline.
Yeah.
This next movie, they do not.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. I also, like, the only thing, I do like Grease. I like Grease a lot. But I also feel like it's very, like, snappy and, like, nothing about it is slow. The part I hate the most in fucking Grease is when, well, there's, like,
the sad song that
songs.
Rizzo sings.
That one.
It's
the most.
shit.
That one, and also when, what's her name? The blonde.
Sandy.
Sandy's like, there's nowhere to hide.
That or the one where...
And she's, like, playing in a little kiddie pool, like a little bitch.
Danny, whatever the fuck his last name is, when John Travolta's like,
Mhm.
oh, Sandy.
Yeah.
That one's shit, too.
Yeah, I hate when they're crying. But I like when they're just like, you don't want to know what? Dun-dun-dun-dun. Ooh, honey. Or when they're like, hey, was the jugs bigger than a neck? Nobody's jug's bigger than their neck.
Annette's.
No, their neck.
No, Annette's. Were her jugs bigger than Annette's? Nobody's jugs are bigger than Annette's.
I literally thought they were talking about necks. I'm like, I'm pretty sure people's jugs are bigger than their necks. I.e. myself.
Annette.
Oh.
A person that we never see or hear anything about besides that scene.
Well, they should have said a different word or a different name. Because I thought the whole time I thought they were talking about necks.
Nope, Annette.
How do you know this?
Because I've watched the movie about 100 fucking times.
Oh. Did you watch it with subtitles?
Yes. I watch everything with subtitles because I lived with the Martins for a long time.
What does that mean?
You've heard Connor speak.
Well,
And how loud he is.
Yeah.
His whole family's like that.
You can't hear it, so you have to...
So, like, I would sit in the living room at his parents' house and just, like, put on subtitles and turn it up really loud. And then his dad would be like, why is it so loud? Because you're yelling. So, that was Super Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
Katie's first viewing.
Yep. It was fine.
This kind of seems a general consensus. I promise I'm gonna find a fucking movie that you're like, yay, I love it! I don't know what one it's gonna be, but I'm gonna fucking find it.
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know what it'll be.
It might have to be, like, some new movie that comes out that's super popular, and then I'll just make you watch it.
Maybe. I don't know. I just feel like there's just, like, a reason why I've never seen these movies, because, like, it's not gonna make or break my life if I don't see them.
That's true, but I'm just gonna find one that you fucking like.
Yeah, one day.
You liked Hot Tub Time Machine. Not enough to watch it again.
And I liked Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'll find one.
Yeah. One day. One day.
One day, yay!
Till that day, we'll be watching shitty movies.
Until that day, we'll just continue to watch movies. Because, well, there's a lot on the list. I don't think you'll like all of them, but I'll find one.
Yeah, one day. Thanks for sticking around. Also, this is probably one of the ones that is actually, like, within...
Yeah, this is actually, like, we haven't recorded ahead of time.
Yeah.
It is Saturday. We're going to release it this Wednesday, which will be the day before Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving!
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you eat until you have a food coma and your stomach ruptures and you have to take off your pants.
Or unbutton them.
Yeah.
If you're with family, I guess.
I guess.
But enjoy the day where Americans killed a bunch of people and we celebrate by eating a fuck ton of food.
Yeah.
What do you eat on Thanksgiving?
I eat chicken.
He doesn't eat turkey.
Nope. No gobble gobble for this gal.
Gobble gobble.
No.
Gobble.
No. I used to have pet turkeys, okay? It's a sensitive subject.
Turkey Tom, and I always want to say Thumbelina, but I know that's not her fucking name.
No, her name is Tanya. Was R.I.P. And she used to chase everyone that came over to my house.
Fair. Me too.
Happy Turkey Day.
Happy Turkey Day. Enjoy your day. Eat a lot of food.
Yeah, if you, like, run out of things to talk about with your relatives, bring up this podcast and be like, yo, it's the shit. It's a new podcast. These British girls, they talk about movies.
We're not British.
They're not British. We're not. But yeah, you should just, like, slowly talk about it.
Slip that right in. When your family asks,
that's what he said.
It is what he said. But when your family's like, hey, why are you single? Why aren't you married yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you have a boyfriend? Cool. Why aren't you married yet? Just be like, because this podcast is taking up all my time.
Yeah.
And it's super hilarious and you should listen to it.
Yeah, and then you should all listen to it because it's super family friendly, especially for young children.
We definitely don't talk about penises or swear or any of that bad stuff.
No. And yeah, so it's basically good for the whole family. Put it on your Apple TV. Just, like, let it play in the background while you're just carving the shit out of a turkey carcass. And, yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye!
Bye!
Bye! You can find us on Instagram at olivier_rose_pod or on Twitter at olivierrosepod. You can also email us at olivierrosepod@gmail.com. You can listen on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks!